Cabello, Cardi B with South on the Border here on POS Radio. Before that, we had some KSI, Craig David, Digital Farm Animals we really love. And in between, this wasn't deliberate, I promise you, this really wasn't. It was Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire, because I'm joined right now from Midwest Wales Fire Service with David Morgans. David, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. And I assure you, this wasn't a deliberate song, I promise you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
This is actually quite an important discussion because it's that time of year now. Mariah Carey has breached containment. Christmas is on its way. Yes, I did say the dreaded C word, everyone. And people are now starting to look at getting products and gifts for family and friends. Not only that, we also have a big factor looking into the next couple of years with tariffs being increased in the United States, where a lot of consoles and technological pieces, whether it's phones, smartwatches, PCs, are starting to go up in price. So a lot of people will be looking for cheaper options, going for products from different areas, which could lead to some major issues when it comes to battery safety and with charging. Because I imagine for you guys in Midwest Wales Fire Service, you deal with quite a few e-fires from batteries and other bits quite often in the last couple of years. Certainly a lot more from maybe the last 5-6 years ago.
I mean, yeah, we do. I mean, about 60% of all the fires that we go to are accidental domestic fires involving electric. But wow. Certainly with battery technology on the increase, we do attend a lot more incidents that involve batteries from waste sites. So it's not just within the house; it's when those batteries come to end of life. What we do with those, and we certainly have fires in waste sites caused by lithium-ion batteries. And as you say, there is a lot more battery technology in the house with things like e-scooters. Battery packs within games, games consoles, those types of things, mobile phones. So certainly on the increase.
Absolutely. So with that then, the first question definitely to ask is, how do you avoid getting a bad battery pack or a bad charger? Because a lot of people, I think, don't realize when they buy products, especially if it's through sites like Temu, Alibaba, AliExpress, that what they've got is something that's not actually safe to be used here in the UK.
I mean, the main thing is, to try to avoid getting those cheaper imports. Everyone's sort of attracted to the price, I suppose. So when people do see those products that are cheaper, it can be tempting. But we'd always recommend you buy them from official sources, if you like. So from either the UK or registered companies and companies that you know who that company is, the history of that company. So we'd always try to avoid, don't look at the price, look at the quality of the product, really.
Absolutely, because it's so tempting, because you do see prices which are very, very cheap these days, especially if you're looking through, say, TikTok Live, because they do all kinds of stores. You have Temu, which we just mentioned, Facebook as well. But with us, anything to look at on the product itself that can tell you this is a safe product? I remember seeing years ago about clover-shaped plugs being a classic sign of something that is not an official UK product, so it's not designed for the 230 volt we kick out of our outlets, as the Americans call them, or plugs over here, which can cause some big issues, especially when you're charging a product on a very flammable surface, whether it's a wood desk, I presume, someone's bed, because I imagine you get lots of calls for that, or even just if you decide to leave a book or something that's quite flammable when it's heated up is next to something that gets very hot.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is just checking to see really that, as I say, it's come from a reputable seller, and check that it complies with either the British or European standards as well. So you should be able to see those markings on it. Check the the instructions on it as well, just to make sure that it has come from that reputable source anyway.
Excellent. Because the other question then is, if you come across something that you think might be dangerous, because there's a term that is quite common on the internet, especially when it comes to products like your mobile phones, etc., when you start seeing them bowing out, or if you have laptops of a certain age, you have what's referred to as the spicy pillow, which, for those wondering what that is a lithium-ion battery pack has literally started expanding outwards, which means that it's about to go pop. So if anyone does come across that, they are concerned that a product they have has got much more hotter when they're using it or something like that. Is there any way of getting that dealt with via the fire service, or is that something just to take to a different place if you think this could be a fire risk?
Well, certainly if you've got that and you have got a laptop or a phone where they do swell because of as you say, the lithium-ion batteries, the first thing is stop charging it, stop using it. If you contact your local authorities, they should have, in terms of the waste sites, some sort of guidance in terms of where you can take those products to. But the key thing is stop using them, stop charging them, because there's obviously a fault with the battery. Lithium-ion batteries can be quite unstable, and when they do become unstable, then that's when we have fires. That's when we have the risk, particularly when they're damaged, if they're dropped, crushed. That's why we tend to see on waste sites when people dispose of lithium-ion batteries and old products. We recommend or would advise definitely don't put them in the general household waste, because those then obviously get taken to recycling plants via a different means, if you like. They can go on bin lorries, and they can end up starting fires within that recycling centre then. So, yeah, always seek guidance from the local authority, really, in terms of how to recycle those batteries and where to take them to. But I'd immediately stop from charging them and probably take them out of the house as well.
Absolutely, because it's surprising actually how many products we have these days. The same, we have your phones, smartphones, e-scooters, consoles, PCs, smart fridges. It's amazing just how many things involve these lithium-ion batteries in this day and age, even down to toys. A lot of toys tend to use them these days. A lot of smart toys, whether it's interactive pieces like an old Tickle Me Elmo, remote control cars. There is a lot of batteries. I think not many people are aware of how to actually look after them, and also what not to do. Because imagine one product, I am very guilty of this sin, I will admit, leaving things on charge overnight or leaving the property and keeping things on charge. Now, I understand that is not a very good idea in terms of fire risk, especially if you have it in a rather dangerous spot where things could heat up very quickly, or if you don't realize you have a defective battery in a product. So is this correct saying don't charge things overnight or charge them in dangerous spots, like leave them on your bed or something like that?
Yeah, there's a couple of things there. A lot of people are tempted to charge them, can be tempted to charge overnight, because obviously the electricity tariffs in some cases are cheaper overnight. However, it's the biggest risk to an individual or a household will be charging things overnight, because people are asleep, they're unaware, fires can develop quickly, go unnoticed. So from that point of view, it is always better to charge them during daytime hours, making sure as well, as you say, where you're charging them as well. That people charge phones, they put the phones in the bed, they can put them underneath the pillows. Things like that can be dangerous. Sorry, I've got the alarms going in the background here.
Yes, because you're actually on call. So is that a call for you to get to?
No, hopefully not. I think there's others here, so hopefully it's them. But yeah, as I say, with that, it can be a case of not charging the phone underneath the pillow, because obviously air can't circulate around that phone, and it can overheat and cause problems. Charging things like e-bikes, e-scooters, that's another one now where a lot more people are using e-scooters, e-bikes. Again, charging those overnight is dangerous, and it also look to where you are actually charging it as well. So it can be difficult because they're quite big in terms of a bike and an e-scooter, but you should always try to prevent charging them in escape routes, and by that I mean corridors, doorways, anything that would prevent you from leaving a property. So if you've got somewhere safer to charge those methods of means of transport like bikes and scooters, then put them in a safe place. Ideally, try to put some sort of detection as well, smoke detection or heat detection in the area where you're charging them, just so you get that early warning in case of a fire. It is probably a key thing to note now with e-bikes and e-scooters. We don't see a large number of fires, but obviously we're aware that it is a risk. So it's just really keeping an eye on that. And in terms of going back to what you were saying earlier in terms of where we're buying things from, it's exactly the same with e-bikes and e-scooters, making sure we get them from a reputable source as well. There's a lot of conversion kits out there for e-bikes, which, if not bought from the right place, can again be a risk. So it's key that you do your research really before buying those.
Absolutely. Now, on the subject of escape routes and the rest, now this is something I know is very important that the fire service can provide here in Wales, is if someone is concerned their property may not be up to scratch in terms of fire safety, or they just want to get things checked for peace of mind, they can actually get a free fire safety check of their property with the crews around Pembrokeshire. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. They're called Safe and Well visits, and they're offered every station in Mid and West Wales will offer a Safe and Well visit, which is basically they will come to your house, they'll look at provide some guidance, some sort of safety advice, and if necessary, put smoke alarms up as well. If you visit the Mid and West Wales website, which is maww.fire.gov.uk, or call us on 0800 169 1234, then you'll be able to book one of those visits, and they'll be able to provide you some further advice and guidance really on how to stay safe in your home, particularly at Christmas time.
Fantastic. Well, David, thank you very much for joining me this, because this thing, as I want to talk about for a long time, because it is amazing just how often we have these, and it's going to be an even bigger factor for the next couple of years with prices going up potentially, whether it's cost of living crisis or tariffs and the rest as well. And of course, it is that Christmas season. A lot of people doing the same. So thank you so much for joining me for this, and thank you for the information. Because a couple of things I definitely learned from that, which I'll do my best to not charge my stuff overnight on a very flammable surface. Because I've been breaking that rule for a while. So definitely get that done. So anyone else is tuning in, please don't do that. That is not a good idea.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Right then, David. So we will get that all over again. Now we got some more songs coming up. Right now, we're going to have a little bit of espresso with Sabrina Carpenter and a little bit of Go from Cat Burns. And then we'll be back in a couple of moments talking a bit further about that whole tariff thing and how prices could be increasing potentially up to 40 to 60% when it comes to consoles, computer pieces, and more, which could lead to a major price change in your pockets and your wallets. So let's dive straight into that. We'll be back in a few minutes. David, thank you so much for joining me. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Mags Optics Haverfordwest are the proud sponsors of this.
Excellent. That's it.
Okay.
We're live. I'll go through. David, thank you so much. Much appreciated for that. And hopefully it's not too busy a call for you, because I didn't.
No, I've not been called out, so it should be all right.
Fantastic.
Okay, thank you.
All the best. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.